Welcome to week 15, everybody. So do remember a couple things. First of all, our final projects are due the last week of classes, and that is the week that classes are still going. So it's the week before finals week. So there's only 2 more-ish weeks. Week 17 is the last week of classes. So here we are. We're here. Whee! This is the Monday. Week 17, the Wednesday, is then. All right? So keep track of that date. It is coming up faster than you might think. And then week 18 is our finals week. All right, so keep track of that. And then let's talk about the final now, because week 18 is the finals week, and we need to decide when to have it, or I need to tell you when we're going to have it. I think I promised you a certain range already, but here is the final schedule. All right, so I'm going to have the final be available during the same time range, 2 p.m. on one day to 8 p.m. on the next day. But we're going to do it and get it out of the way on the Monday of finals week, from Monday to Tuesday. All right, so I'll release the final on 2 p.m. on December 8th. That's the Monday of finals week, and it will be available until 8 p.m. on December 9th. All right, so finals are meant to be a little bit longer than midterms. So if this were a real in-person class, our final would be scheduled in a room for 1 hour and 50 minutes. And so that's how long the test is going to be. All right, so a little bit longer than usual. At least you have more time to do it, though, honestly. But yeah, that's what it's going to look like. And here are the topics involved. Topics from these labs, homeworks, these lectures. You know that everything builds on top of itself, so you should see midterm 1 and 2 topics as well. You know it's going to be there. And yeah, that's more or less the setup. I think you can kind of imagine what's going to be on there from those words and those assignments and those lectures. But here's a decent amount of topics that you should be pretty comfortable with. We got some sample questions, and the format of the exam is going to be exactly the same as the 2 midterms. You're professionals now, right? You're going to have your cheat sheet. You're going to record yourself taking the test. Start the recording before you take the test. Submit the recording after you finish the test. If you want to practice anything, there's still that sample practice recording test in the midterm 1 module. You can get up to speed, you can remember how to do it, and you'll be good to go. All right, so that's the final. It will be available right here in this week 18 module eventually. I'll release these 2 pages right now, though, final info and extra credit page, but eventually these will become available. You'll go here to take the final, and then you'll submit the recording as usual. All right, so that is the setup. That's going to be what happens on finals week. It's just you take the final, submit your recording after you're done, and then I just grade stuff. It's all back to me after that. All right, so that's the setup. That's the logistics. Please yell at me if you have any questions about that. And with every exam, we have another extra credit assignment. So if the final comes out on the 8th, that means the Sunday, midnight before, on the Sunday the 7th, before the test comes out, you can do an extra credit assignment if you would like. And this one is worth the big bucks. It's up to 5% extra credit. All right. So it's the same format as every other final, or the same form as every other extra credit assignment, but just remember, no late submissions. You should have submitted it earlier, all right? So get it in on time, and it's worth up to 5% extra credit, and what you can do is exactly what I've explained the last 2 times, right? Make a review video. So it's me forcing you to study, and then you're also going to help your peers because you'll click reply, and they'll get to see your wonderful work as well. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. So yeah, just post a video of you going over some stuff. You should have a couple examples of topics that will appear on the exam, right? So make up some new stuff, that's the goal, and just try to give a mini lecture of how to solve the problems that you've created, draw some diagrams, stuff like that. All right, so that's the goal, and that's the requirement. So if you want a quarter of the extra credit, 1.25%, please make at least a 10-minute video going over a decent problem or maybe a couple small problems that you've made up or something. If you want 2.5% extra credit, please make at least a 20-minute video going over a few problems. And if you want the full 5%, make at least a 40-minute video, please, going over quite a few problems that you've come up with or something. All right? So that's the goal, and that's the setup. So do remember, you got to make something new to receive extra credit. Can't just go over your labs or something. That's something you've already done. That's not extra. So do ask me if you have any questions about your idea. I can approve it ahead of time, but as long as you're following these rules and making something new, then I'll give you the credit. All right? So yeah, you are professionals at recording yourself by now, but of course I'm here to help if you have any questions about any of that. Yeah, please take advantage of this if you would like. That's our extra credit opportunity. And now you know when the final is. You know also when the final projects are due. Do keep track of that due date. That should be available for you to look at. That's all in the final project module. All those are released already. So keep track of all that. It's all coming up faster than you might think. Okay? So I think that's all that I wanted to say and remind you of. Do yell at me if you have any questions about anything, and I will talk to you soon.